Cool. This is your what? Fifth, sixth, seventh time?
Probably the sixth.
Holy
probably the
shit.
sixth. I think I might have been on here 5 times
And
already.
I'm still
yeah.
pushing Jay Leger, but
That's
I
right,
think
dude.
You're still pushing that back.
Yeah.
How's it going, man? How long has it been now? That's at least 2 years.
2 years, yeah. 2 years since you turned into a phantom.
Yes.
He's just
the
disappeared out the scene.
Colorado
Yeah.
Springs comedy scene. Like,
Yeah.
What's been going on, man? I think the last time we talked on the podcast, you might have still been running your mic.
Really?
I think so,
really?
dude. Yeah.
Holy shit. That was
In fact,
a long
I
time
think I
ago.
got the cup. Yeah, right.
Because, me and George ran that for like almost
Battle
3
Mountain.
years. Yeah. The Battle Mountain mic. Yeah, that place is gone, dude. It's been gone for 2 years.
I think didn't one of the Joes try to take it over? And
yeah,
he
John Rummery tried to take it over.
John,
Luke
right.
Stam tried to take over the
Oh
monthly
my
showcase. He tried to take over the monthly.
That I can
Rummery
understand.
was doing the weekly.
I couldn't imagine him taking over like the weekly mic.
I mean, he probably, I don't know.
Probably
yeah,
in jail.
I actually didn't. Yeah, once both of them started running the mic, I didn't keep up with it. I just know it was rough whenever we ran it because we put so much money into advertising. But every time you walked outside, you were being asked for a cigarette. So like, it was right next to the Springs. What's it called? The Springs something mission.
Homeless shelter.
Yeah, like right next to the homeless shelter. So it was pretty bad.
After COVID let us back into the open mics. I went to 3Es because 3Es was still doing the class. Brittany was running those classes for a couple months. How to do like improv and how to like write comedy sketches and everything.
Yeah.
And I ordered chicken fingers from 3Es. When I took those over to Battle Mountain, this homeless guy, like right as I'm getting out, he's like, "Hey man, you got any food?" I'm like, "Nah." I'm like, "Oh wait, I do have half-eaten chicken. Like, if you're okay with that." And he's like, "Yeah, man, I'm cool with that." So I hand it to him. Like, my instinct was to shake his hand.
Yeah.
So I shook this homeless dude's hand. I'm like, "Oh fuck, we're in the middle of COVID. Like, this isn't a good idea during a regular thing."
Herpessyphilitis.
Yeah. So at the time, Battle Mountain had like the huge fucking hand sanitizer.
Mm-hmm.
I fucking did that, and then I hit it again. Fucking, I doubled
Twiced over. Yeah.
double dipped, dude. Because who knows?
And you went and took a welding torch to it in the bathroom. Yeah.
I shoved it in the deep fryer just to boil off any of the diseases.
Yeah.
Like, the homeless situation is crazy, man. I've never been this close to like a major town to see that, but holy shit, man.
Yeah. It's been so. I think we have like a good scene going, I guess, for the most part, with like the shows and stuff going on, and the new comics taking over a lot of the new shows. Because I think eventually you just get tired of running a mic, so it's nice that somebody else wants to like step in and do that.
It was
shit.
crazy seeing you and George like week after week, because like that was a grinder of a fucking mic, dude. Holy shit.
Yeah, but that's the thing though. Like a lot of people like stopped going, especially like comics, just because it was difficult to get a good turnout there. But man, whenever
that location,
whenever it was
tough.
but whenever it was good, it was great. Like there was a few months where we had like a few, like where like few full rooms and stuff here and there, and that was really nice.
I give another 12 months and we'll have another Battle Mountain open mic for a while, and
Well, they moved to Castle Rock.
Did they?
Yeah,
Okay.
because after the mic had shut down, I think like a year or so later, because the whole front of the place was glass, somebody broke in and stole the PA and all the speakers and a bunch of shit.
What the fuck?
So they were just like, screw this location, and they just moved to Castle Rock.
I wonder if whoever took over the property.
He's talking about running an open mic out there because he still wants to do something comedy related in Castle Rock. So.
Okay. Castle Rock, does it have any open mics up there? That's a bit of a hike for us.
Yeah. It probably wouldn't be doable for us.
Okay.
It's a good little drive.
I'm gonna start an open mic here in Falcon. I talked about it last week with Dad. I really need to get something up here. That drive down to the Springs is fucking crazy.
I know.
Falcon,
yeah,
dude.
you live in Narnia, dude.
Yeah. What's his name? Cotton said I live out in Kansas. I'm like, it's not that fucking far, dude.
It does look like Kansas, though. Yeah.
Yeah, we're up on the prairie. So, but yeah, man. You also got that music project going on, right?
Oh yeah. I'm in a band now called Idol Corrupted. We've been jamming together for about 8 months, I think, total time spent. 8 months. We've been jamming together. We got like a great set list going. I'm excited about the music that we're making.
What's the genre? Who would you compare yourself to if you
Oh, it's definitely like thrash and metal.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's good. How many songs you got written out?
Currently, we're at 7 songs that are written, and then we have like 1 or 2 that we're writing on
Nice.
currently.
So 45 minutes to an hour, probably. Huh?
Currently, we're doing 30s. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Dude. Should be good. You got any shows coming up?
No current shows as far as I know. I do know that we're going to be picked up for a show soon, but I don't know when that's going to be.
Nice. That's gonna be good.
But yeah, we played 2 shows so far. One was a basement show. One was at Frisky's. That was pretty fun.
Nice.
It was a great turnout. Sold a lot. Like we sold shirts, and they had a great turnout, and people were just like genuinely really supportive. I was kind of worried about like being nervous and stuff because I was like way nervous for that show because it had been since 2015 since I did music on stage.
Uh-huh.
But Joe Bear had given me the advice. He was like, well, 2 things. One, you're going to realize how much easier it is than doing stand-up.
Yeah.
And 2, at the end of the set, it's going to feel like it flew by. And both things are very true.
That's what I absolutely hate about being on stage is I've done music 2 or 3 times. One was a talent show, so it's basically glorified karaoke. And then the other one, I played with that lovely guitar that's now a piece of wall art.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you spend days and days and days like stressing this shit and weeks practicing, and then boom, just fucking done. You're like, I feel like you just got shot out of a cannon.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've always had an interesting like conversation with music versus comedy. Is like, especially if it's a like I think Ferret enjoys the same risk we do. Is like if you're having a bad night, you have nobody to hide behind. Like,
Yeah.
You know, having a bassist that's like killing it and a drummer. Like if you can get those 2 guys to have a decent night, you can hide a lot of shit behind a good rhythm section.
Yeah, because and Ferret actually has more pressure on him. He puts more pressure on himself
With
than
that
like
layering
with comedy.
shit,
Yeah,
too.
because he has like the little drum machine. He has all the pedals and stuff, and he's got to loop it and everything. So he's like building a song on the spot.
I think
And-
he has even more pressure than comedians. do.
Absolutely, yeah. We just got to remember our dick jokes. He's literally got to get all of these things. It's almost like a Rube Goldberg machine that he's got to line up perfectly with the tempo of what he was trying to
Imagine
play.
if you tried layering like a Tool song with like really odd. I don't think you could do that with well, you could. Is
I
having
mean,
that repeats
I don't
a
think.
time
Yeah, I don't.
signature
I don't
thing.
think it'd be worthwhile for him. I don't think.
Yeah, I think he's got his own thing going on.
It's needlessly complicated. Yeah.
As most Tool songs, needlessly complicated.
Yeah.
Have you heard that their most recent album, Fear Inoculum?
Yeah.
It's like fucking homework, dude. Like,
Well, here's the thing. That whole album sounded like a buildup that never like paid off.
yeah,
That's what it sounded like to me. It's like this is cool to have like new Tool or whatever, but if they never made another album again, I think it'd be fine.
it would suck if that was their final album, though.
I
I need something like radio. Like I know Tool is not set up for radio.
Honestly, 10,000 Days could have been their last album, and
Yeah.
that would have been a great leave off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you still had Jambi.
I think they had like Rosetta Stone and all that shit on there, right?
The Pot, I think, was on there.
Yeah, the Pot was on there.
There's a bunch of
Vicarious.
killers. Yeah. Oh my God, Vicarious is so goddamn good.
Right.
I'll literally look up drum covers on YouTube and just watch those guys just fucking kill it, man. There's some absolutely killer.
Yeah, Drummeo's a good
covers.
channel for that.
Yeah. Have you, Drummeo? Did you see those drummers that are given a song without the drum track and then they try it?
Yep.
Holy shit! Some of those guys are. The guy from Red Hot Chili Peppers killed 30 Seconds to Mars.
Which song did he do?
The Kill.
Oh, of course.
So you know how like the
that's
beginning
cool.
of
Yeah,
that
that's
doesn't even
true,
have
that's true,
drums.
most of the
He was
time.
already like filling that out, and
Yeah.
then you know how it goes.
Mhm.
He was already like he was literally half a beat behind it, and he was already killing it. That guy is. I don't like Red Hot Chili Peppers like the funky Red Hot Chili Peppers. I like Downer. Red Hot Chili Peppers. What Other Side? Californication. I like Downer.
Right.
you know.
Xanax, Red Hot Chili Peppers, yeah.
I had a mad respect for them after that. Though. I was like, holy shit, that drummer is just bonkers, man.
Yeah, he's pretty good. He's pretty good.
So, are you doing any musical instruments with the
Oh,
band?
I actually I sing.
Okay.
Yeah, I sing. Which everybody in the band, because we have 2 guitarists, a bass player, and a drummer, and they are so goddamn good. Like I cannot suck. It's just like the pressure of that, where it's like everybody knows that there's like a weakest link in the band, and like this is a band where it's like fuck. Like even if I am the weakest link, like they're so good, I can't suck.
You know, that's actually what killed John Bonham from Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was he So Led Zeppelin is four of the best in their, like, you know, yeah, Robert Plant singing, John Paul Jones on every other instrument, John Bonham on drums, and then Jimmy Page on guitar. John Bonham looked at all those other guys like, I'm not worthy of this band. And in 1976, the drum magazine that was out at the time said that the Carpenters drummer was the best drummer on earth. John Bonham was number 2.
Oh.
And apparently he never recovered from that. Is he already felt that he was in a band above his weight class?
Yeah.
But then an international drum magazine said, hey, you're not the greatest out there. And what ended up killing John Bonham was the 1980 tour. He didn't want to go out on it. He actually drunk himself to death. He drank like 80 measures of vodka in a 24-hour period.
Jesus.
Yeah.
So
don't let
do
that
they still
pressure
call
get
that?
to you.
Do they still call that consumption? Like he died from
Dude, that is
consumption?
straight binge.
Yeah. That sucks to hear, man.
Don't let the pressure get to you, bro.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is like these very talented musicians like mess with me. So like if they respect what I do, then I must be cooking with fire.
Hell
you
yeah.
know, like I must be onto something.
Which is more difficult, writing a stand-up bit or writing lyrics for a song?
Writing a bit.
Yeah.
Because at least a song is more consistent, and you don't have to care if they like it or not.
Yeah.
Like whenever you're playing a song, you're just gonna do it. Like if songs worked like jokes, then I would have to check in with the crowd and notice that they didn't like how the song was going, so we'd have to play a song differently.
Yeah.
Like,
well, and with music,
because jokes, you have to have rubber band jokes that work in any room that you can acclimate to any crowd. But with music, you're just up there to do the set.
I think with music, you're expressing more emotions too. Is with jokes, your end goal is to get them to laugh.
Yeah.
Where like, okay, this song's a downer.
Right.
We're gonna cry for this song.
Yeah, this is a ballad.
Yeah, this song's gonna piss you off. I feel like you have more tools to manipulate with that.
Yeah.
I haven't written poetry since like middle school, so.
Dude, I've gone back and read, because I was a big poetry kid in like middle school, high school. I used to write a lot of poetry, and I'll go back and read all of my old poems, and I want to kick my own ass. Like, it's so cringe.
Reading old material
it does not age well.
is painful. I couldn't imagine soul exposing fucking poetry. You're just like, oh,
Yeah,
fuck.
it's not great.
The
not
fuck
great.
was I thinking?
Yeah. Oh, I thought my life was bad then, and I had no idea what was coming. You know.
So, last time you're on the podcast, Joe Bear and I.
We already watched that fight video, right?
No, we have not watched that fight video, and we're not going to.
Good.
So
yes.
when it was sent to me, I was like, "This is one of the most depressing videos I've ever seen."
Yeah, that was a.
Dude, you had a rough life down in Louisiana. Holy shit. So like. Who's the friend that sent it? Just the first name.
Okay.
Or first initial.
His name is Chris.
When Chris sent that, I was like,
Chris,
holy shit, we actually have more viewers than the people involved at the table here. When he sent it in, I was like, wow, this is really grainy. Oh my God, the light. Like there's
and the language.
No light.
Yeah.
Well, but then I saw what was going on. I'm like, oh, this is just depressing.
Depressing.
It's so depressing. But I still do owe him, I believe it was a hard drive of porn. I think a fleshlight.
You owe him the fleshlight.
Maybe that'll be Christmas.
Yeah, just put a Santa's hat on the fleshlight. Yeah, just send that to him.
That is coming. We're gonna do that. And I'm thinking. So on the laptop here, I've had this nameplate on here for the longest time with the Oak Grow Up on there.
Yeah.
I think I'm about putting that on the case. So anytime
nice.
he fucks it, he's like, "Oh yeah, Oak Grow Up podcast." It's gonna be our branding is on sex toys.
Oh my gosh.
That was hilarious though, because I think at one point in the video you said you're an atheist, but you will pray for him.
Yeah, I was pretty desperate. Because that's the thing. Every time I hit him, I tried to knock him out, and he just would not fall. And I was so afraid of getting the shit beat out of me. Like,
yeah, head injuries are like a serious threat, man. Like,
because I hit him 4 times. He hit me like 12 times in that little video.
Wasn't this over somebody's sister or something? Was that the same story?
This was over my sister.
Your sister.
Because like his mom was marrying my sister's dad, so that they were going to be like living together or whatever. And I had called him, and I knew that he sold drugs and stuff. So I told him, look, I don't want you getting her involved in any of that stuff, you know. and his response over the phone was, "Oh, don't worry, Justin. I'll take good care of your sister." Then he hung up on me.
Go outside and whoop your ass.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, and then in my mind, I was like, "Shit, now I gotta like fight somebody. That sucks." Like, because I hate fighting. Like, I'm definitely not a fighter type of person.
I've never been in a fight.
Oh, no shit.
I know when to shut the fuck up.
And that video, we were actually just throwing a party at my friend's house.
Were you guys using like truck lights to like light
Yeah,
the?
yeah. He pulled his truck in the yard and put the headlights on so that we could see each other.
Well, the next fight you want to be in, I'll bring one of these cameras. It records in raw 4K. So.
Yeah, we'll get 4K ass beaten.
Yeah. We get
just get the shit kicked out of me.
The lighting is perfect. Make it look like a James Bond movie or something.
You gonna disrespect that grown ass man?
You'd see every pore as he punched your lights out.
Getting into fights up here.
I don't have to worry about shit.
Last action I heard was the Magician. I don't even know if he's still in town.
That's how long it's been, dude. It's been like almost 3 years.
Since I
think it's been 3 years since that happened.
I think so. That was COVID, I think.
It was like coming out of COVID.
Wow.
It was, yeah. It was.
You guys want to see it?
Like at the tail end, but yeah. That was a
Ledger's fucking.
That was a great look. That was a great look for the show. Let me tell you.
Holy shit!
But recently we had this army because like I got roommates in the house. It's me, George, and Ferret and Lloyd in there, and we're all comics and musicians. And we had this war vet move in recently.
Oh,
he was only there for 3 days. So we didn't even have time to get to know this dude.
The fuck?
He came in and then he drank. One day, this is what Lloyd had told me happened. Whenever I got home from work, Lloyd was like, "You're going to have to watch him. We might have to call the police." And I was like, "What's going on?"
Fuck?
Yeah, I'm just coming home from this shit, you know?
This guy lives with comedians.
I'm coming home from work to that shit. And he was like, "Well, he spent all day winding himself up, drinking all of our beer so we don't have any more alcohol in the house. He drank all of it." And I was like, "Oh, so he's like messed up." He's like, "Oh yeah, he's pretty drunk." And then the guy comes in and starts threatening to kill Lloyd and this and that, and
you ratted me out, bro.
No, he threatened us for 5 hours. He was trying to threaten to kill Lloyd for like 5 hours, dude, and it was arduous.
Is this somebody that we've spoke about in the past?
No, we don't know this guy. We still don't know this guy. He got his shit and moved out. Like, we kicked him out for sure. But
holy shit!
But it was 20. It turned into
locks.
Yeah, it turned into a 23-hour ordeal. Where after 5 hours of it, we called the cops, and the cops were veterans, so that didn't go well.
Fuck.
They went and talked to the guy, and they come back in, and the cop was immediately passive aggressive with me. He was like, because the cops didn't realize it had been 5 hours that we had been going through that, and I was trying to make them understand that this guy was legitimately dangerous,
dude,
and we didn't know how far we'd go.
Cookie.
Yeah. And the first thing the cops say whenever they come in, they're like, "So, we know you want to take away a veteran's rights and put him in a cage, but he doesn't fit the criteria for us to take him in."
How long have they been on scene?
They only talked to him for maybe about 10 minutes, like 5-10 minutes, like so the cops totally vouched for this guy, and I was like, "Okay, so whenever you guys leave, if something happens to me or this old man," I was like, "That is on y'all, because I'm trying to tell y'all,
and
people's lives are in danger
good already."
Exactly, yeah. Lloyd's living on like half a lung, like a quarter of a lung left. Like, you push him over, you'll hear the sound of breaking glass. Like, it's not good, dude. It's not good. So the cops just like basically told us to go screw ourselves, and I told them to get out of my house, so they left. God. And then that went on for hours, because now he's pissed that I called the cops on him. So he comes into the house and he starts threatening me for like another 5 or 6 hours. We called the cops and we waited 4 or 5 hours for them to get there. It never came. And he, like, the whole time we were waiting for the cops to get there, he would come and scream at us on the front porch, hold us hostage for about an hour or two, and then he would go back to the backyard.
Week must be good this week, huh?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
But it was a lot, man. It was a lot.
That sounds terrifying.
It was.
And nobody's armed in the house.
And the cops never came the second time we called. That's
some bullshit.
Yeah, they just never showed up. I had to sleep at another place because he turned his attention from wanting to kill Lloyd to wanting to kill me, because I'm the one that called the cops. And so, like, yeah, I just had to deal with like a PTSD veteran just like screaming in my fucking face for
Which
2 hours.
which war did he go to? Afghanistan, Iraq?
I'm assuming because he was recently retired.
Okay.
Like
What could be either one.
he's like 40 or something.
Okay.
Like maybe 42 at the oldest.
Yeah. Yeah, that's either Iraq or Afghanistan. Fucking A, dude.
But yeah. That was a whole thing. Yeah. And we've had 4 stinkers of like roommates coming in too. We've had 4 shitty roommates.
You enjoy your life on the unemployment line there, okay?
Yeah, he would.
Fuck,
whenever
man.
he was of sound mind, heavy quotes. He was one time whenever he was hanging out with me and Lloyd, he was like talking about how he couldn't wait to get back to deployment. He was like, many people have tried to kill me, and many people have failed, and I killed them every time. And
How did this
like,
guy
he was
find
like,
you?
I can't wait to. Some app that George was on to try to find roommates.
All right,
like
app.
Roomster or
George
something.
off the apps. Like-
Yeah, I don't. Because he seemed, apparently from what George said, he seemed cool through text, and then he moves in and immediately loses his mind.
Oh my god, dude.
If we would have known him and we would have had time to build rapport, it would have been a different experience. But the fact that he was still a stranger to us and we didn't know what he was capable of.
I mean, just pounding the beer.
Yeah, just throwing all of our
Was
beer
it
back.
12,
Yeah.
12 pack?
I mean, we had 2, you know those little glass drawers at the bottom of a fridge?
Mm-hmm.
Both of those were full.
So you're talking at least, what,
A lot.
20, $25 worth of fucking beer?
Yeah, he drank through a case of beer.
Fucking asshole.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much.
Fucking shit, man. I've had roommates. How long have I had him now? Since November. Haven't any problems with him. Every so often, so obviously where you're smoking is directly below my my bedroom. And I like to sleep with the window open when it's nice and cool. Every
Yeah.
so often I'll get like a
You-
puff of weed coming up. I'm like,
Oh,
fuck. I actually woke up to that last night.
oh, okay.
So I don't want my house smelling like weed. But
Yeah, I
outside
gotcha.
of that, man, I haven't had any problems.
Yeah, because you could accidentally like breathe in some weed, and then they're like, "We need a drug screen." And then I think they put the knee in your back, twist your arm up, and stuff.
They probably will.
Get on the
too.
ground. Have you been having fun on the weekends?
You're working a garage right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
They piss test you for that?
They did. I lied to get my job. I paid somebody for their urine and filled a condom with it. And whenever I
Are
went
we
to,
going to have to take this out of the episode?
no, I don't think anybody gives a shit. Plus, it's Walmart we're talking about here. All right, they're not
It's the
deep
least of their
diving.
worries.
Yeah, they're not deep diving into anything, dude. But yeah,
Fat Walmart hoes at. You heard me?
they're everywhere. They're on their little scooters that sound like they're leveling up to Super Saiyan when they back it up. Little re noise.
So, how long have you been working with Walmart now?
I've been there 2.5 years. Yeah, 2.5 years.
Would you recommend anybody working for Walmart?
If you're gonna work at Walmart, work where I work, because that's as far as you can get away from customer service.
Yeah.
And we still deal with the crazies, but we don't have to deal with them for long. You know.
I worked at a place, a superstore, and I was one of the warehouse laborers.
Yeah.
And this was right at the tail end of the bubble screen TVs. So 32 inch was as big as it was going to get before like the case really got fucking weird. It gave a lot of people confidence though, because they look at the 32 against like the flat screens that are coming out. The flat screens are big, stupid, heavy things.
Yeah.
So you get this guy, like, yeah, I want that. I didn't even talk to the guy. I'm in the back just moving other shit. When the person that sold the TV brings it back, they're like, yeah, this customer's going to bring it. I open up the garage door. It was always like some 2-door Honda Civic.
Yeah.
I was like, there's never going to fit in there. Like, no, man, this is going to fucking, like, no. When I bought this TV, it was a 75-inch.
Yeah.
I actually had a moving van for another reason.
Yeah, it's nice.
So
it's a
when
fancy one.
it's fucking nice.
Yeah.
When I go to the same store, they're like, "You sure you have the right vehicle?" I'm like, 100%. She's like, "You're sure?" I'm like,
Yeah.
"I have a moving van." They're like, okay. I'm like, "Yeah, I don't fuck around, man." Like,
Right.
I learned my time in the warehouse because what they'll do is for the 2-seater, they would drop the front seat and be like, "Yeah, just shove it in." Like, this physically will not get past the front seat, let alone sit in the back seat. Like, do you get that where people they completely overestimate or underestimate the size of something?
Oh yeah. I'll see people bring in like tires that they want to put on a car, but it's in like this little tiny car, so the tires are like smashed in like a clown car type thing.
Doesn't even fit in the wheel well.
Exactly. Like you open up the back door and you have to like yank them apart because they're just so squished together. Yeah, we had one dude come in one day. He had a black backpack on, completely blacked out, had a ski mask on. And he comes walking straight up through the middle of the shop. He's like, I'm looking for a job. And in my mind, I'm like, the fuck you are, dog. Like, you're not looking for a job, dude. You're so full of shit. And I was like, well, it's an online it's an online application. We got the sign in there if you want to go check that out. He was like, okay. And just walks off. And 20 minutes later, the emergency exit flies open, and he comes running out with a bike.
A bike.
Yeah.
One of the easiest things to steal outside of a store.
And we're the most robbed store in the state. I think that they said whenever they do inventory every year, it usually comes out to about $5-6 million worth of
Jesus Christ.
stolen merchandise a year. A year, dude.
So thousands of dollars are walking out a day.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I saw two robberies happen within the span of an hour that weren't related to each other.
God damn, dude.
Yeah, one dude came running out with the bike and some shit, and one dude came dragging those big blue totes just full of shit. Like,
do we have those dumbass laws like California, like $1,000?
yeah. If it's under a certain amount, then you can't really like stop them from stealing or something.
Really?
But they'll like obviously like AP asset protection. They'll walk out of the emergency exit with them, and they'll
shoot him.
yeah, dude. Yeah. Put the Huffy bike down. You know, like.
Oh, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna
How do you get a job here, there, fuckface?
take a TV.
Right. Yeah, there's been a lot of employees that have been caught stealing and stuff like that.
Same
just-
thing.
yeah.
Enjoy your life on the unemployment line, okay?
Yeah.
What's your favorite job? You've been on the how long you been working out in the real world? Since you were 18 or some shit?
Oh, I moved out of my parents' house at 16, and I lived with a friend of mine, but I'd been working since about 17, I think. My first job was looking for AM/FM currents with this psychotic old man.
How do you look for AM/FM currents?
You're basically just digging up wires in people's yards.
To look for radio frequency shit?
It's to this day I still don't know how to properly but it was like
stealing copper.
it was basically just a lot of digging and maintaining like wires and looking for like breaks in the wires and stuff like that. Very boring shit to explain.
Yeah.
But the interesting part is that the old man was psychotic. He was forced to retire because he was fist fighting with students. He was like an old school science teacher.
What the
And
fuck?
he didn't take shit from anybody, dude. Like he gave me my first check in cash, and he put it in my hands, and he was like, "Thank you for your help." And he put it in my hands. I was like, "Thanks," and I put it in my pocket. And he's like, "You're not going to count that?" He's like, I could have stole from you. I could have shorted you on your paycheck, and you're not going to count that to make sure. I'm like, okay, man, I'll count it. So I like counted it in front of him. And he was like, always count what people pay you. People could short you. Like, he hated the world, but he was dead set on me learning as much as possible. It was
From
but
his
aggressively.
bitter worldview.
Exactly. And it was plumb fucking ridiculous. And he had worked with one of my distant cousins his name was Troy Leger. And he was like, "Yeah, you're definitely the better Leger. Your cousin's freaking, he's a fucking imbecile." And he actually used the word. He actually used that word. He's like a fucking imbecile. He's like caveman looking.
Why isn't that word hated on?
And
that was a word used back in the day too.
Right. But yeah, and then his wife was like this sweet old lady. Of course, you got to have the contrast.
Yeah.
And she comes out. She's like, "Oh, you boys must be so thirsty." And she brings out like the lemonade and stuff. And I'm drinking.
When in the South.
Yeah. And I'm like drinking. I'm throwing back this cold lemonade, and it's so refreshing. And he's like, "Stop getting comfortable. We have to get back to work." I was like, "God,
Life is not comfortable.
Yeah.
So you went from that to
I went from that to whenever I graduated, I started working at this. It's in the oil field, but I wasn't working offshore. I was working in a plant that made that had a welding shop that would make tools and stuff for offshore.
Okay, so you're not moving or going through that moving machinery.
Right. I'm just making the machinery that they
never
use.
see me do that shit.
I was just making the stuff that they would use on the rig. Like I was welding, fitting, stuff like that.
Is that your trade? Is welding?
Yeah. Well, I did a few things just so that, because like my plan as a youngster was like, get all of the shitty jobs that you can, acquire all the skills that you can, so that whenever you find the job that you want, if you ever lose that, you'll always be able to go back to the shitty jobs.
That's
So
how I'm with
I learned-
heating
yeah.
and air conditioning.
So I learned construction, I learned welding, I learned all this type of shit, waterline construction. I've done all
Nice.
kinds of shit, just so that as I get older, like I'm working a job now where I'm comfortable, financially taken care of. I have stability because like I don't really need more money than I need.
Yeah.
If that makes sense?
That was the dream when I got into my current line of work is
Yeah.
do HVAC during the day and then do comedy at night. Is
Yeah.
they tell you not to have a plan B with comedy, but like you still gotta fucking eat, and comedy
Yeah.
doesn't pay for a long
No,
time.
no. People don't even take you seriously till you're about 10 years in.
Yeah. So, oi, oi, oi. Your music and your comedy. Do you have any social media handles to put out there?
Oh yeah, Idol Corrupted. We do have a YouTube channel. We have a music video out for that channel, and I just kind of have to say this because I noticed people commented underneath the YouTube video, as well as like people have messaged me directly about it. The audio itself is not completely mastered, so the vocals sound a little low, but it is like we basically just put that out so that we could have tape to get booked for shows. But it is a great video. Ferret recorded it. Kyle
Nice.
Penn is his name, but Ferret is his alias that he goes by musically, and he does great work.
Eventually, because I have such a nice like setup here, I want to record some kind of like live music. The audio is the only struggle I would have. But like,
Oh yeah, for sure, the audio would be an issue.
you saw how we tuned like the video before we even got started. Like I would love to have like a perfectly lit like thing. I was wanting to do Joe Bear's band, but it sounds like they're
Oh.
not gonna have another opportunity to do like a Halloween special. So
Yeah,
I would have loved to have had my cameras at that last one. I went to his Halloween bash 2
Yeah.
years ago.
yeah, because I think Joe Bear's the only musician out here that's in the band, and then I don't think one's able to come out.
Yeah, I don't think he's got too many more Halloweens in him. So
Oh
It
yeah, you know
sucks.
that. Yeah, you know about that.
so best of luck to that guy though.
But
It would be awesome to record like these cameras are absolutely insane. Like they actually did a BMW commercial package with these things. Like they're legit. So
No, I mean, yeah, all this.
could
this
you
tech is like
fit
it's-
your entire band into the studio?
Yeah, we
Might
could
be able
definitely-
to do
yeah,
it,
we'd
man.
be able to set up in here for sure.
Maybe have one focus on the drummer and then just have like a floating mic or floating
Yeah, you
camera.
just have so much nice gear here. It's like real fancy. Yeah,
We can clear it up.
you
pretty
definitely
quick,
put a
so.
lot into this setup, man.
Hey, now I got to fucking use it. It's been on the bench for a year. So.
Yeah, absolutely. But like with comedy and music, the music thing, because I feel like I kind of owe it to them as a team project. I definitely want to be as consistent with them as possible, and if we end up, touring on the road and stuff, that would be amazing.
Mm-hmm.
With comedy, I'm a little bit more lax on. I'm not like really career minded with that.
Yeah.
I don't really care about my comedy
That comedy
career.
grind is tough too.
The
man.
comedy career I don't really like care about, just because I get what I want out of comedy already. The only
Yeah.
thing that I would want more out of it would be if I got paid to do it for a living.
Yeah.
And there's a lot more work to be done there. I don't meet my own standards of funny to progress at this moment. Like I definitely want to have like 46 to an hour.
Jesus.
Well,
the mics are gonna be the only thing that helps you.
yeah. So I'm doing mics semi regularly, but yeah, I don't want to half-ass both things. So I've been primarily focusing on music.
That's good, man. Well, again, if you guys are out there on the scene there, look out for Leger and the bands. What was the band one more time? I'm
Oh
bad
yeah,
with names.
yeah. We're on YouTube. It's Idol Corrupted, and I think it's Idol Corrupted Band on YouTube, or just type in Idol Corrupted Band and it should pop up. And I also have my comedy on YouTube, Justin Leger Comedy. Just search that up. Try to make it pretty easy to find me. Try to make it pretty easy to find.
Cool. Any other last
Well, yeah.
words?
Nope, that'll be all, man. Thanks again for having me.
Absolutely. I don't know what to go out on. Ooh, here we go.
I have a bad case
Of diarrhea.
See y'all next
All right.
week.
Thanks, everybody. Later.
Bye.